The Galactic Council's designation was clear. Planet Moros was a Class 15 Deathworld, the highest danger rating in known space. No sentient species had successfully established even a temporary outpost on its hostile surface. The atmosphere was corrosive, the wildlife predatory, the terrain treacherous, and the weather systems catastrophic. Every attempted expedition by the most advanced species in the galaxy had ended in retreat or tragedy. The humans want to do what? Council Elder Torvak's facial membranes fluttered in disbelief. Ambassador Jackson stood confidently before the gathered representatives of 200 alien civilizations. His weathered face broke into a smile that unsettled several of the more empathic species. "We're establishing a permanent research station on Moros," he repeated, "and we're requesting permission to use the Council's orbital monitoring systems to assist our mission." A ripple of alarm spread through the chamber. "Impossible," hissed Representative Nall, her scaled skin bristling. "The Var Imperium attempted colonization with their most advanced military units. They lasted 3 days. Jackson nodded. "We've studied their approach. With respect, they made several tactical errors we intend to avoid." The council chamber erupted in overlapping voices until Elder Torvak raised his appendages for silence. "Humans," he said, his voice a low rumble. "Your species emerged from a Class 9 Deathworld. Impressive. But Moros is an order of magnitude, beyond Earth's challenges. We cannot in good conscience approve this suicide mission." Captain Maria Rodriguez reviewed the final mission preparations aboard the UNSC Pathfinder. Her 12-person team represented humanity's finest. Engineers, exobiologists, geologists, and combat specialists chosen from tens of thousands of volunteers. "Final systems check," she ordered. Lieutenant Tom Grant, her second-in-command, reported. "All environmental suits tested and functional. Modular base components secured. Defense systems online. Medical bay prepped for all anticipated Moros-specific hazards." "And the unauthorized additions?" Rodriguez asked quietly. Grant smiled. "The recreational items are safely stowed, Captain." Rodriguez nodded. The Council had restricted certain technologies they deemed unnecessary. What they didn't understand was that human survival often depended on items other species considered frivolous. "The Council believes we'll fail," she addressed her team during the final briefing. "Every species that attempted to study Moros approached it as a military conquest or a scientific puzzle. We're approaching it as home." 3 months later, the Council's observation feed showed impossible images. A modest but expanding human outpost functioning amid Moros's howling acid storms and predatory megafauna. "How are they surviving the atmospheric toxicity?" demanded Representative Nall, watching humans moving about outside their primary structure without full environmental suits, wearing only breathing masks and modified clothing. "Adaptation," replied the human liaison officer, Dr. Alex Cooper. "Our team underwent controlled exposure therapy during the journey. Their bodies are adjusting to tolerate low levels of Moros's atmospheric compounds." "And these?" Elder Torvak pointed to structures that defied Council restrictions. "Gardens," Dr. Cooper explained. "Earth plants modified to process Moros soil toxins. And that's a distillery. The team converts local vegetation into potable liquid, improves morale." "You're making recreational intoxicants on a Class 15 Deathworld?" The Elder's voice carried both horror and grudging admiration. "We find it helps with stress management," Cooper replied evenly. The truth was more complex. The human outpost thrived not despite Moros's challenges, but because of their approach to them. When acid rain damaged their primary communication array, they rebuilt it using local crystalline formations. When predators breached their perimeter defenses, they studied the creature's behavior and established a symbiotic relationship with a less aggressive competing species. At the 6-month mark, the Council received a formal request that stunned them into silence. The humans wanted permission to bring civilian specialists to Moros. "Families?" Torvak clarified, certain he had misunderstood. "Not yet," Dr. Cooper explained. "Though that's in our 5-year plan. For now we're requesting artists, additional scientists, and educators." "To what purpose?" "We're not just surviving Moros, Cooper said. "We're understanding it. Your species have approached Deathworlds as obstacles to overcome through technology and force. Humans approach them as relationships to develop." Council recordings from the one-year anniversary showed the human outpost transformed. Structures merged with the landscape rather than standing against it. Gardens flourished with hybrid Earth-Moros plant species. A crude but effective weather control system redirected the worst storms. Most shocking to the Council observers were the domesticated Moros predators. Creatures that had slaughtered elite alien military units now served as guards and companions to human children who had indeed joined the expanding colony. "How is this possible?" whispered Representative Nall to Ambassador Jackson. During an official tour, Jackson watched as a young girl fed treats to a creature that resembled a cross between an earth scorpion and a wolf. "Humans evolved as persistence predators on a dangerous world," he explained. "But we also evolved as social creatures who transformed wolves into dogs and wilderness into gardens. We don't just endure harsh environments, we reshape them through relationship." The Council formally reclassified Moros to a Class 12 Deathworld, still deadly to most species, but no longer considered uninhabitable. Human techniques for Deathworld adaptation became the galaxy's most valuable intellectual export. Elder Torvak, nearing the end of his long life, made a pilgrimage to the thriving Moros colony. Standing beneath an engineered atmospheric dome that allowed visitors to observe without protective gear, he watched human children playing in what had once been toxic soil. "Your people don't just survive hardship," he told Captain Rodriguez, now Governor Rodriguez. "You cultivate it." Rodriguez smiled. "That's the secret the Council never understood. Every Deathworld is just a home waiting to be understood. Where others flee from danger, humans charge toward it, not from recklessness, but from the unshakable belief that any challenge can be transformed through persistence, adaptability, and the stubborn refusal to accept impossibility." Torvak gazed across the transformed landscape. "What will your species do next?" Rodriguez pointed to the stars visible through the dome. "There's a Class 16 Deathworld in the Cygnus sector. We've already assembled our first team.